Speed cameras have been the focus of motorists' anger and frustration for years, although we are told repeatedly that they are effective means of reducing death and injuries on the roads. But is this really the case? This study is set out to examine the effects and the effectiveness of various strategies related to the development of speed cameras and to explore how different types of drivers responded to the cameras and perceived their operations. Recommendations for best development were to be considered. It was carried out between 1993 and 1996 after the Road Traffic Act 1991 authorized the use of automatic speed devices for detection of offenses. There are about 12 surveys that are ranged in 5 sets and having some cross-sectional and some longitude elements that were undertaken with some depth interviews and some self-report measurements that were predominated. This particular interventions also focused upon compromised cameras, signing alone, which were two kinds of publicity campaigns that were linked with the speed cameras development. One was the prosecution following detection by speed cameras, and last, the effects of the cameras which were first installed and over time. As the ideal aim of speed cameras is to enlarge the proportion of deterred drivers, to maintain the number of those who has always complied, to reduce the ranks of the deferrers and the manipulators, this study aimed to find out more about the two latter types of drivers. To give an overall picture based on larger number, 4 samples totaling 3,440 cases were all added together, which means that there have been angry and long-running fights that were taking place between the cities that considered traffic cameras being an essential component of safety, and conservative state legislators who see them as one more scheme for fleeing taxpayers. To the anti-camera Republicans and the legislators, Big Brothers is the city that have installed the machines to snoop on the motorists. To the cities, Big Brothers is an intensive state government template on local rights. The Senate passed about 32 to 18 tickets, which they banned on traffic cameras in the state after July 1st. That sent the issue to the House, where a sizable centrist faction argued that the camera should be legal, but subject to state regulations. In the end, the House refused to ban the cameras but approved the amendment, requiring cities to present evidence that they needed. These cities insisted that they are saving lives, as well as easing some of their budget problems. Currently, about half of the states have traffic enforcement cameras of some sort. 10 states banned them altogether. There have been red light cameras in more than 420 communities and only about 140 speed cameras. Citizens tend to trust red light enforcement more than they do with the speed enforcement. The data on speed cameras is less comprehensive, but it also points in the same directions. But also a couple of academic studies over the past few years have also came to the same conclusion that the red light cameras were more of a focus. Also, we cannot ignore the fact that the presence of the speed cameras can remind drivers of the importance of the speed limits and the penalties for being caught speeding. And therefore, cameras could be having more than just a general and a beneficial impact on driving elsewhere. On driving elsewhere. Other than just at camera sites. However, accurately capturing these positive effects from the data is from straightforward. The bottom line is that traffic cameras are nonsense and sometimes even injustice.